Hi all. Today we'll discuss about some of the JavaScript interview questions. So let's start with order of execution. So we might get a question like this, like a console and set timeout, promise, and again a console. We need to tell the order of execution. I mean, which console executes first. So before saying answer to this question, so let's have some event, basic knowledge on call stack, event loop, and web API. So let's discuss these things. So call stack is nothing but a stack where it will be executed at first and it would be printed. So check line by line console.log. This line will come to the call stack first and event loop will execute this call stack and it will print output as one. Later on we'll be getting set timeout. So set timeout is a web API which is provided by the browser. So it will go to the web API. It will go to this place and the timer starts. Once the timer ends, it will not go to the call stack again to execute. It will not interrupt or it will not go in middle of the call stack. It will go to the task queue. It will go to the task queue and it will wait. Once the timer is completed, it will go to the task queue and later on the event loop. It will check for the call stack if it is empty and micro task. It will check for micro task if there are any tasks in the micro task. If there are no tasks in the micro task, then it will go back to the task queue and checks whether any task is there and then it will pick this uh, set timeout callback function. So in this way, the set timeout will go to the web API first here and the timer starts. So meanwhile, the promise comes and the promise, we know promise has two things. It should resolve or it should reject. So we'll be having a special queue called micro micro task queue. It will go here and it will wait some time because it should resolve or reject. So meanwhile, the console 4, it will come to the call stack and event loop will execute that. So this is the reason 1 and 4 would be printed first. And also micro task queue will have higher priority than the set timeout or task queue. So this is the reason we got 3. So event loop now prints the micro task queue as 3. Now event loop will check for the call stack. If it is call stack is empty and micro task queue is empty, then it will pick the callback functions in the task queue. This task queue is also known as callback queue. It will pick this set timeout callback function here and it will keep in the task call stack and it will execute. So this is the reason 1, 4, 3, 2 is the order of execution. So with this basic knowledge, you can answer a number of questions which are more related to this. So also we can have a visual representation. So this is a loop, a website. I will post this under the video description. So let's paste this piece of code here. So this is a Java visualization. So you can visualize what is happening here. So I'm removing the promises here because promises will not work here. So I will increase the delay so that we can more understand how it works. So let's run this. So I'm running this. So now you can see what comes into the call stack first. Console 1 came to call stack and it got printed. Now timeout came and it went to the web API and the timer 5 seconds was completed and now it came back to the callback queue and again it executes this callback function. So this is how it works. So you also can examine or you also can verify this with your own code and callback functions. So one more point here to remember. So here we kept 5 seconds so that it may take 5 seconds and it go to the callback queue and again come back to the call stack. Even if you keep 0 also, it will follow the same order. Let's check that because in set timeout, even the time is 0 milliseconds or 5 milliseconds, it needs to follow the same flow. First, it needs to go to the web API, and after the time is 0 seconds, it means it will directly go back to the callback queue, and it will not directly execute because in call stack there would be the console of 4. This would be present at that time. So once the call stack is empty, this event loop will pick the callback queue and it will execute. So this is the order we'll be getting. So from next time, please remember this picture and try to answer these interview questions. So now let's go back to the second question. Scopes with set timeout. So this is the second one we'll be discussing today. So we have a for loop in which where I is declared and I is less than 3, I plus plus, and we wrote one set timeout function here. And let's discuss what would be the output here. So we'll be getting three threes here. So 3 3 3. The I would be 3 times 3. The reason behind it is where is a function level scope. It means for all this set timeout, there would be only one I, one variable would be binded. Each time the set timeout callback function calls, only this variable would be incremented because we have only one variable binded. This is because where has a function level scope. So this is the reason at the end I value would be 3. So only we have one I variable and it is binded once. So this I would be printed three times. So if we remove this where and if we keep let, and we know the scope of let would be the block level. So it means we have three variables for each callback set timeout function. So this is the reason. If you see 0, 1, 2, 3, we got three different values as we expected because let has a block level scope and there would be each binding for each callback function. So this is the reason. Hope you understand this. So let me go to the third one. This is mainly regarding the same name and function name and same variable name. Let's check this. So if I declare a variable with add and if I declare a same variable name with add, so now I have a variable name as add and function name as add. Now I'm trying to print the type of add. So let's check what we'll be getting. So I got function. So I got a type of add is a function. So now we may think that we have a variable name and function name with the same name, but as we wrote function in the second line, it would be overrides the variable. So let's check that. I will move this line to the top. Now let's check what would be the value. So now also we are getting same function. So with this conclusion, we may get to one point. I mean, we may observe one point like the function declarations takes more precedence over variable declarations. So this is what we can conclude with these two lines of code. So, okay, the function declarations has more precedence. I mean, it has more priority over the variable declarations. So this is the reason if we show or we print console, we are getting function as this. So let's do one thing. I will assign some value here, where 10. So now check what would be the, see now the console is number. Rearrange the order even though we'll be getting the number. So with this conclusion, I mean the same variable name, if the variable is not assigned, just it was declared earlier, we are getting the function as a type. Now with the same variable name, with the same function name, I have assigned a value now. Now we are getting a number. The type of would be the number. So with this observation, we can come to another point saying variable assignments takes more precedence over function declarations. So with this, I think you got some points. If we have a variable and function name with same name, so we need to think of these 2 points. We have a function declarations takes more precedence over variable declarations, whereas variable assignments, now if we assign any variable, so it has more preference or priority. So with these 2 points and with these two conclusions or observations, you can answer all the interview questions related to this. One more important note is if we declare let here, a6 variable let, now the output would be error. We'll be getting an error. So keep in mind, if we replace where with let, don't answer anything here. there would be no number or function. We'll be getting directly an error saying the identifier add has already been declared. So hope you liked and understand the video. Thanks for watching.